Look what I woke up to. Well, the Cory catfish were being very frisky last night. There's only 4 bronze Cories in here, and they're some of the oldest fish in my whole house that I'm aware of, because I haven't gotten bronze Cories in a long time. Anyway, they were being frisky last night and they laid eggs on the glass in the corners and a couple of other places, like right here. Now, a lot of the fish ate the eggs. But there's a couple of eggs, it's hard to see, but I think there's a couple of eggs that didn't get eaten right there. I think there's 3 eggs there. These got eaten, but you can kind of see where they used to be. Anyway, I just fed these guys. I'm gonna try to get a few of these eggs off. And then over here, I put this is a breeding slate that I stuck in here upside down. This is supposed to be the stand. Anyway, I've been moving angelfish around, maybe haven't shown you all that yet, but anyway, so there's some eggs. There's several more that haven't been eaten over here and up there. So I just fed these guys. Excuse the glare, it's morning, so there's like light coming in all over the place. Fish. So yeah, I haven't shared this yet, but I moved Little Mama and Big Daddy, and then Ebony and Ivory into this 60-gallon cube tank, which is usually the tank that I've been using as a grow tank and pairing. Yeah. So there's Little Mama. Here's Big Daddy at the top, and then Ebony and Ivory at the bottom. And now Ebony and Little Mama are siblings. So they grew up together. Their coloring is very, very similar, but just Ebony's fins are longer and wider. And I don't know why, but that's what it is. They get along pretty well. Every once in a while there's a little chasing and, you know, just normal little kind of territorial, like this is mine, not yours. But I was kind of hoping that Little Mama and Big Daddy could show Ebony and Ivory how to breed. But I really, honestly, look at them, siblings. Honestly, I do not know for sure if Ebony and Ivory are male and female. They've been in a 29-gallon tank by themselves for quite some time. I don't remember how long. I'd say close to a year. I don't remember. I'd have to look back. But I just, honestly, I wanted to give, the thought started where I wanted to give Little Mama and Big Daddy here like a nicer home. They were in a 20-gallon bare bottom tank. I just wanted to give them a little bit more decorated, bigger home. They've bred a lot. They've had a lot of spawns. They're the parents of just about all of my blue angelfish, the blue marble and the dark blue pinoy. There was another pair that was breeding for a short time, Night and Sky, but then Sky died, and Night died and Sky has a new mate. Anyway, they haven't actually had a successful spawn yet, but hopefully they will. Anyway, but I mean, Little Mama and Big Daddy have had a lot of babies. And I also wanted to give Ebony and Ivory a little bit different environment, a little bit more planted, or just not a bare bottom tank environment, and just see how they would do and see if maybe they would spawn. So we haven't really had any spawning, but they get along pretty well. They grew up together. A lot of these fish grew up together. I mean, obviously the siblings over here grew up from a itty bitty, you know, tiny fry, But then I think some of these guys were in this tank as they grew up. So they get along pretty okay, and I just think they're really pretty, and it gives them a little bit different environment. And anyway, I'm happy with them. I just very recently put in those breeding slates that I think look kind of ugly. But yeah, and now I have Cory eggs. Who knew? The Cories have bred before, but it's been quite some time. I mean, I've had them for years and years. There was a much larger group, and they've started kind of occasionally dying off because they really are that old. I can't even tell you how many years old they are, but I've had them a long time. Anyway, so we're going to try to pull these Cory eggs. I've never done this before, and it might not work. And actually, all these big fish could go and eat all those Cory eggs before I can get them out. It's possible. It's possible, yeah. But I've had, these are black neon Tetras. I've had black neons in here for a long time. I also had some cardinals, and I quit buying cardinals. So there's a few cardinals at the bottom. You can kind of tell that the cardinals are smaller, even though they're adult, than the black neons. So you really have to be careful when you put Tetras with angelfish that are big or are going to get big. And I think black neons work well. There's a few Cory Tetras in here at the back, the purpley ones. They are about the same size as the black neons as when they're adults, like these are. These are basically full grown. There is one little, there may be one or two little black neons that are just a little smaller, because every once in a while I do get another group of 6 or so and add to it, but you just have to be kind of careful. When I got that next group of black neons, I didn't have the big angelfish in here. I had different angelfish in here. Yeah, I had different ones, so smaller, like medium-ish. I'd say medium-ish. Anyway, I better go put these Cory eggs. Oh, there's Big Daddy. He is a beautiful fish. I just fed them because I was trying to hope that they wouldn't get anywhere near the Cory eggs. And I mean, this might not work, but I'm just kind of excited to have the opportunity to, surprise, you have Cory eggs. They're more concerned about looking for food that fell on the bottom right now. So anyway, hey, update, I moved all the angelfish, pretty much all of them, except for a few. Excuse the glare. I wasn't planning on videoing. It was like, there's eggs on the glass. I saw the Cories are acting really lively and, wiggly up and down the glass. And I thought, I just noticed it. I just kind of noticed because this is in the kind of dining room kitchen area, and the light's on a timer, and the bird wants us to talk to her. Okay, so trying this again with the bird on my shoulder because she won't be quiet. So, Meek. Okay, hello. This is the 50-gallon tank that is where my kind of grow tank and pairing tank went. This is now my pairing tank instead of the 60. So 2 of these fish were the original stock, the 2 on the left, the dark blue Pinoy at the top left, and then I call her Snow White, the full-grown blue marble that actually lived with the dwarfs. I call her Snow White because he or she lived with the Kamaka dwarf rainbows for quite some time. And I tried to put him or her in with some angels, and it didn't go well because I put other fish in with the full-size, full-grown adult. And anyway, So I tried putting Snow White in the big tank because she or he is the size of those other fish I just showed you. But Ebony chased the stew out of her. I mean, like almost unrelentless. And that little cube tank is 2 feet by 2 feet by 2 feet. And that is not very much space. If they're gonna have disagreements, that is not much space to be able to get away from another fish. So I scooped her up and I put her over here, even though she's quite a bit bigger. But the thing is, she wasn't already in here. And they had a little power struggle, a little bit, but not bad. I can show you that footage. I'll probably show you that footage at the end of this, of when I put Snow White into the cube tank and Ebony chased her, and then I put her over here, and they had to kind of, you know, peck at each other and see who was, you know, figure out their little hierarchy and seniority or whatever. And there is one fish in here that is sideways. I was hoping, he's on the left. I was hoping as he grew, his swim bladder or whatever would right itself or fix itself, and it hasn't. He does fine. He eats, he swims, he does what angelfish do. He just does it sideways. And some days he's a little more sideways than others, and sometimes he's a little more upright than others. Anyway, I don't know why they're all in one corner. So, that's part of what's going on. Kind of impromptu video because, hey, there's bronze Cory eggs that I still haven't picked off the glass. But we'll go get them. Anyway, I've been trying to get Snow White into like a tank with angels for quite some time, because even though rainbows get along okay with angels, angels get along with rainbows for the most part, rainbows are very, very quick, and they swarm the food in a way that is really remarkable. They have this feeding frenzy thing when you feed them, and they just swarm the food. And Kamaka rainbows, especially ones that are kind of juvenile, some of them were a little young and smaller, were really fast compared to that angel. And it was a little difficult to be sure that Snow White got some food, because the rainbows are so crazy. And because there are so many of them, and plus with, anyway. So, side notes. That's the side note. Okay. And just FYI, below this, I have a 40 breeder that's divided. And on the right is Sky and her new mate, Sunset, which I'm just trying to keep the kind of names going, the theme of the names. And then on the left is another pair that I call pair number 3 because I haven't named them. That's pair number 3 because I haven't named them. Both of these have spawned, but sometimes their eggs aren't very fertilized. And I haven't really gotten, I either haven't pulled the eggs or the eggs haven't lived. Pair number 3 has had one spawn that I pulled, and there was a few alive, but I didn't realize it because most of the eggs on the leaf turned white and weren't fertilized or weren't viable for some reason. And I didn't realize that there were a few in the bottom of the bucket that were wigglers and that were alive, and I just didn't realize it, and I kind of quit, you know, bothering with them. And then I realized that there were actually live babies at the bottom. But by then they'd been a little bit neglected. I hadn't really treated them the way I would have if I'd realized they were there. Anyhow, that's what we have here. So, impromptu look. So I'm kind of going away from keeping my breeder angels, pairs, my breeders, and the 20 gallons upstairs that are bare bottom. Because honestly, none of my angels are parent raising anymore. Well, mainly Little Mama and Big Daddy. They used to parent raise. I have a video about it, and they haven't been parent raising for some time. I've been pulling the eggs, so I just started putting my breeders in a little bit more decorated tanks that have substrate. Honestly, there's been a lot of things in this tank. Guppies, started out with guppies, and it was divided, and there are 2 different strains of guppies in here. Or maybe that wasn't starting out. Anyway, I don't really have guppies anymore. I'm just more of an angelfish and a rainbow fish kind of person. And I like guppies, but I don't have enough time in tank space to do all the things. So I had to choose which things I was gonna do. And I'm rambling. Okay, well, y'all have a good day. I will show you some footage at the end of this of me moving. When I tried to introduce the adult angelfish, Snow White, in with the 60-gallon tank, and she was chased by Ebony, and I took her out and I put her in here, and it's worked out pretty well. So anyway, I will show you that at the end of this. And yeah, I have not intended to not make videos. I just either haven't really known that didn't feel like I had any new material to show you. And I've been very, very busy just taking care of fish and doing normal things like working and taking care of birds. Yeah, right, Meek? Taking care of birds. Hello. Okay, well, we're gonna say goodbye, and we will see you next time. Right? Bye-bye. We'll see you next time, and have a good day. And thanks for watching. One day you clean the kitchen and it looks kind of normal, and the next thing you know, there's a bucket of Cory eggs in your kitchen sink. So, I'm not exactly sure what to do with these, but we're gonna figure it out and we're gonna give it a go. So I think there's about 16 bronze Cory eggs in this little bucket. Some of them are underneath this heater. So they look pretty good to me. That flashlight's almost too bright. There's a little bundle of them over here. They look pretty good to me. So this is a 2-gallon bucket, and I'm just bubbling them. They seem to be doing okay. I don't really know what Cory eggs are supposed to look like. They're a little bigger than angelfish eggs, but this is what I do with angelfish eggs when I pull them. But I put them in a 5-gallon bucket. Yeah, but I just put them in this 2-gallon bucket. I need to look up what to do. Am I doing it right? I don't know. Advice welcome. Have you ever raised Cory catfish? Yeah, from eggs. What do I do next? I'll do some research, but I wasn't planning on doing this. I'm excited though. Okay, how warm are these guys? Pretty good. They were at 78 last night.